Have you ever wondered how to gain more control over a teaching moment with a child? For example, have you ever asked your child to clean up their toys and they either tell you no or don't do anything? If you have, then this is the perfect video for you. In today's episode of Behavior Nation's Caregiver Education video series, we will discuss what instructional control is, its importance, how to establish and maintain it, its limitations, and examples of what it looks like. We will be first discussing what instructional control is. Instructional control creates a relationship between the learner and the instructor that is paired and cooperative. When we say instructor, we are referring to anyone from a parent to a caregiver to a teacher or to a behavior therapist, anyone that's creating a teaching moment for the learner. We can remember that pairing is known as associating yourself with fun toys, preferred activities, reinforcement, and using more declarative language when playing with the learner. So this means using sentences that make statements like, I love this game and I love playing with you. This builds rapport between the learner and yourself, which will create instructional control. Pairing will be introduced later on in our video series. Instructional control creates more positive outcomes for clients because they learn that complying with a demand creates access to reinforcement and preferred activities, which we have learned reinforcement strengthens behaviors we want to increase or decrease. Next, we will be going into discussing why instructional control is critical to learning. Instructional control is important because we will see little success in sessions or with learning opportunities without it. When there is high instructional control, clients will make continuous progress. Instructional control creates a balanced relationship between the learner and the instructor. It fosters a relationship that shows the instructor is fun and exciting, but also someone who has an authority figure and they are there to teach the learner. We can establish instructional control by pairing ourselves with the learner and their favorite activities we create as an enjoyable and fun part of the relationship. We can also have control of reinforcers. When we have control of reinforcers, we teach that complying with demands earn access to preferred items or activities. When clients have limited access to reinforcers, this strengthens their behavior, but it also increases the instructional control because the client does not have free access to such items 100% of the time. Providing reinforcement and access to reinforcers goes hand in hand with pairing and control of reinforcers. We establish ourselves with the reinforcers, and the learner will associate us with fun things. By pairing and providing reinforcement, we create trust between the learner and the instructor. Trust is learned by completing a demand and being given access to the reinforcement they are seeking. This also creates clear expectations for the learner of what is expected and what behaviors are accepted and not accepted. Next, we will be discussing the limitations of instructional control. There are many things that limit instructional control. These things can have a negative impact on instructional control. These include, but are not limited to, arguing or debating with the learner, bargaining, allowing escape or avoidance from demands, limited structure, and having different rules across caregivers. For example, if we give a demand to clean up 5 items and the learner bargains with us to clean up 2 items, our demand is not being fulfilled. We could potentially be reinforcing the bargaining instead of behavior of cleaning up. Instead, we can ask the learner, do you want to clean up 3 toys or 5 toys? This gives the learner a choice and control and allows them to complete the demand in a way that they feel like they have control of. We can also increase structure by adding a schedule to the day or start by adding one structured activity into the day or week if it becomes difficult to do. We can also increase the structure over time. We know follow through is hard and sometimes just isn't possible, but we are here to support it in the best way possible. Instructional control looks like providing a direction and then the learner follows through with that direction. For example, we can say, sit down, the learner then sits down and reinforcement is delivered. If it is a new demand and they need prompting, it looks like them attending and or attempting to complete the instruction. With instructional control, there often is less intense behavior such as tantrums or aggression. Instructional control goes hand in hand with teaching appropriate behaviors, so we are able to increase certain behaviors and decrease other behaviors that are not conducive to learning. In conclusion, instructional control creates positive outcomes for our learners. It also creates a fun relationship between the learner and the teacher, and we also need to be aware of the things that limit establishing instructional control and maintaining it. Thank you for joining us for this video, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us via email at info@behaviornation.com, via phone number at 844-262-8466, or feel free to visit our website at www.behaviornation.com.